Your life with every level of debt. And what to do. You get a raise. Not a small one, a meaningful jump. And for a moment, it feels like things should finally get easier. But a few months later, nothing really changed. Your bank balance still hovers near zero. You're still checking your account before making small purchases. And somehow, the pressure feels heavier. So here's the uncomfortable question. If you're earning more than ever, why does financial discipline feel harder than ever? Scene 1. Early career, low income, simple life. Let's start at the beginning. You're 22, maybe 23. You land your first real job in a city like Chicago, Manchester, or Toronto. You make around $45,000 a year. After tax, maybe $2,800 a month. Your life is simple. You share an apartment, your rent is $900. You don't own a car yet. Public transport works fine. Your expenses are predictable, limited. You don't feel rich, but you're in control. When you spend $50, you notice it. When you save $200, it feels meaningful. Discipline isn't easy, but it's visible. Every decision has weight. Scene 2. Mid-level income. The shift begins. Fast forward a few years. You're now 28. Your salary is $75,000. After tax, that's roughly $4,500 a month. Objectively, your situation improved, but your life changed too. You move into your own apartment, rent is now $1,800. You buy a car, monthly payment $450. Insurance, $150. Gas, $200. You upgrade your lifestyle, better furniture, more dinners out, short vacations. Nothing extreme, just normal progression. Now your fixed monthly costs look like this. Rent, $1,800. Car and transport, $800. Food and lifestyle, $1,200. Subscriptions, insurance, utilities, $500. That's $4,300. You're left with about $200. You doubled your income, but your margin barely exists. And here's where discipline starts to feel harder, because now cutting back doesn't feel like survival, it feels like going backward. Scene 3. Higher income. The invisible pressure. Now you're 34. You're doing well. Salary $110,000. After tax, about $6,200 a month. This is where most people expect life to feel stable. But here's the reality. You didn't just upgrade your lifestyle, you upgraded your obligations. Maybe you bought a home. Mortgage $2,800. Your car improved too. Payment $650. Maybe you carry student loans. $400 a month. Your lifestyle expanded. Travel, dining, convenience. Now your monthly structure looks like this. Mortgage, $2,800. Car and transport, $1,000. Loans, $400. Lifestyle and food, $1,500. Fixed costs, $700. Total, $6,400. You're now slightly negative, not because you're irresponsible, but because your life became more expensive in ways that feel permanent. The hidden mistake. The mistake isn't spending more. That's expected. The mistake is locking future income into fixed commitments. Every time your income increased, you converted flexibility into obligation. A nicer apartment, a finance car, a longer mortgage, monthly payments that quietly assume your future income is guaranteed. So instead of gaining freedom, you built a structure that depends on continuous earning. And discipline becomes harder, not because you lack willpower, but because your system has no room for it. The math behind it. Let's simplify it. At $45,000, your fixed costs were maybe 60% of your income. At $75,000, they rose to 90%. At $110,000, they exceed 100%. Not because you made bad decisions, but because each upgrade felt reasonable in isolation. $300 more for rent doesn't feel extreme. $200 more for a car feels manageable. But stacked together over years, they eliminate your margin. And without margin, discipline has nowhere to exist. The psychology behind it. There's a deeper reason this happens. As your income grows, your reference point shifts. You stop comparing yourself to your past and start comparing yourself to your peers. Your coworkers live a certain way. Your social circle normalizes certain expenses. And slowly, your definition of basic changes. A one-bedroom apartment becomes the minimum. A reliable car becomes a newer car. Occasional dining becomes frequent convenience. You don't feel like you're upgrading. You feel like you're keeping up. And that's what makes discipline feel restrictive. Because now, spending less doesn't feel like saving, it feels like falling behind. Long-term impact. If this continues, something subtle happens over time. You become highly dependent on your income, but not wealthy. Your lifestyle looks stable from the outside, but internally, there's very little flexibility. A job loss isn't just stressful, it's destabilizing. A market downturn affects not just your investments, but your entire structure. And retirement doesn't feel closer even after years of earning more, because most of your energy went into maintaining your current life and not building future freedom. Shift in perspective. Financially intelligent people don't necessarily earn less, they just treat income differently. When their income increases, they don't immediately upgrade fixed costs. They allow their lifestyle to grow, slowly and selectively. But more importantly, they protect their margin, because they understand something simple. Freedom doesn't come from how much you earn, it comes from how much of your income remains uncommitted. They see a raise not as permission to spend, but as an opportunity to increase flexibility. And over time, that flexibility compounds. Not dramatically, not quickly, but quietly, in a way that reduces pressure instead of increasing it. Conclusion. So if financial discipline feels harder as you earn more, it's not a personal failure. It's the natural result of a system where every upgrade feels small but adds up to something rigid. The solution isn't extreme budgeting or cutting everything out. It's simply becoming aware of what you're locking yourself into. Because once your income is already spent before it arrives, discipline becomes almost impossible. But when you protect even a small gap between what you earn and what you owe, you give yourself something most people never quite reach: room to think, room to adjust, room to choose. If this gave you a clearer way to look at your money, consider subscribing.